What's up, guys? Welcome to Surf Devils. It's another fan cam post, the season ending, and it's been a good week, good start of the week. And as you've noticed in our last couple of videos, we're interviewing different fans, mainly non-stadium fans, and getting their views about the season and what's in store for the next season. So today we have a special guest all the way from Bombay, Rushil. What's up, Rushil? How are you?
Hi, Nishid. Glad to be here. How are you? Good?
All good, all good. But always now we're happy. Like we can face Liverpool, Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans for like some time before they go on their remote again. So we couldn't show our face. Now we can, at least a little bit.
Yeah,
Was
since
it
two days,
was
it's a good
how
smile on everybody's face.
I know, but how was the game? Like was it like tense or how did you find it?
No, it was good. I've seen more tense moments before, so luckily, we were much more prepared for this one. But I'm glad it went out well, and we ended the season very well. So third is
Yeah,
it's a great achievement considering where we were in January. So very good.
absolutely. Like picking on that, I think the Ole Out campaign was on for. I think we had a pretty much a really disastrous start to the season. I think we were down at 10th, 11th. I think we had like what 9 points in 5, 6 games. As you mentioned, January was horrible, like 3, 4 defeats in 5 games, and everybody was, Ole gets sacked next week. But he's turned it around. Although there are critics for that as well. Like he still got 66 points, and last season was 66 again. So, what are your thoughts? What is Ole's report card according to you? A pass or a fail?
I think still remains to be seen. Definitely not a fail. Let's not forget. We have to give anybody time. So far, I think his tactics have been spot on. Of course, barring a couple of games like the Chelsea semi-final or something. I think the gameplay has been much better. For a change, we've actually enjoyed watching United on TV, right? And probably, I don't remember any after Mourinho's first year or something. It had always been very very drabby. Like you don't want to see a live game anymore. You just want to switch it off or switch to a movie or something. I can't imagine a time at Sir Alex's time when I could switch, from a live United game to watch a movie, for example. So he's definitely glued us to the TV, which definitely shows that he's made football more exciting, and that's how United should be, and that's how they were always before. So I think there's definite thought, there's definite development, bringing youngsters into the fray. So there's definitely something going for him. I think we should just give him time. Of course, not everything has clicked as per he wants, but I think he's very new, and he's a composed manager. He's a calm guy. He's taken a lot of criticism at the end of last season, starting towards this season. He's ended very strongly right now. I think just have to give him time. So I would say it just remains to be seen.
And do you think? See, the obviously, like I think he's bought himself time for sure. Uh, but the real question is, see, now we've got the third place. Now, how much do we move forward? So, do you think he's still the right man who's going to take us or mount a challenge to the top two, basically Liverpool City?
Right. So I think at the moment the best thing is to for United is to stick to him. I think there is no doubt that there is absolutely no way or no chance of looking for somebody new, and he's obviously earned the right to get another couple of years at least as of now, to see to lead the team and see how it goes. We are way off Liverpool for sure. Unfortunately, it's sad for me to admit, but it is the truth. Unfortunately, you have to admit it.
Yeah.
Liverpool are miles ahead. I've seen their gameplay, seen some of their games. They are just brilliant. There is no doubt about that. So
And they're just so fit. I can't believe how fit they are, man. It's
they're
crazy.
fit, they're fast. They've got a fantastic manager, great players as well. But nothing lasts forever. Everybody knows that, right? We had a golden. I think it reminds me of our team in 2000, from 2007 to 2010. If you know, when we had Ronaldo,
Yeah.
Rooney, everybody was on
Tevez.
fire with
Yeah.
Ferdinand and Vidic at the back. So we had the best of the best in a lot of positions. We're not there yet. We'll take time. We have to accept that this is still a club in transition, although it's
Transition.
been a very
Yeah.
long time now. Hopefully, it's going in the right direction, though. That's for sure. Um, but I think Liverpool are miles ahead. I don't see them slipping out. I think they don't even need to do anything in the transfer market, barring maybe add one or two players. That also
Yeah, I
won't be
think
their first
they're
players.
still looking at Salah's leaving, so they might, I don't know, probably dig into the market if Salah's really keen. I don't know why he would leave the club right now, but yeah, I mean, you never know.
I'm doubtful. There must be rumors or here or there, but no, I don't see that happening for sure. He's probably at the best possible place. They won the Champions League, won the Premiership. I think where else will you be?
Yeah.
There's
And
no
still,
upgrade from
I
here.
think the clubs behind them are still. I mean, looking at City, obviously they're going to mount a challenge next year, but like 15 points, it's quite a big gap. So are they going to bring that back? So Liverpool look
Hmm.
comfortable, but hopefully not so comfortable next season. Uh, Talking more about United and their season, who, according to you, like obviously everybody would love and say Bruno is the guy who turned it around, but who else do you think were the impact players and who turned around the season for us?
Well, so I think one of the best buys for us has been Van Bissaka as well. Now remember, I mean, he's a 50 million pound purchase. He's a defender and he's probably the best tackler for sure in the game. I don't think there's anybody
Oh,
better than that. Any one-on-ones or
Spider,
blocks,
Spider.
yeah, he's
Yeah,
absolutely a spider. So he still has to work on his attacking game. I think, but I think he'll improve. He's young, but I think he's a great buy. There's no doubt that he's been good. I have actually not been very disappointed with James as well. I think there's a lot more that he can offer. He does frustrate at times because he makes those runs or the last, the final ball is wavered or something like that. But I mean,
hmm.
for a guy, for the amount that we paid for him and he's so young, he has a lot of speed. So don't forget that. And he started the season well.
Yeah,
So I think there should be much more to come out of him. I think, of course, he'll get mature with time. He'll get those final dead balls also right. So you have to trust in his ability at some point. So I think he's been good. I think Bruno, everybody knows he's been a fantastic impact. So probably I don't need to add anything there. He has galvanized the club for sure. Pogba also, do not
absolutely.
forget, Pogba was on the verge to be out. He's almost becoming, and hopefully he'll become like a new signing for us because he was not present in the entire season. Suddenly after lockdown he comes back. I mean, he has this great partnership with Bruno. He's definitely an impact player. Let's not forget that. He's still a good player. Those long passes or those hard tackling and all that. Pogba does add a lot of value, despite the hatred that a lot of people have for him. We have to see him for the player
Yeah.
that he is. So I think these guys have done fairly well. Of course, let's see what happens in this transfer window. There's not much time, unfortunately. A lot of names are getting linked. But let's see what happens.
As usual, as usual.
Hmm.
I think we get linked to everybody, whoever is there. Even I think Messi also gets linked automatically to United. But I think I mean looking at that season, I think we have to break it down into two halves. And I think the first half, a lot of players Rashford, when Martial was injured, he took it on his head and scored those important goals. And as you mentioned, I think James at the start of the season, he was the guy who was getting us the goals and assists. So like we had parts. The only problem was, I guess, the consistency. Like we didn't have somebody who was from the game one to game 38 was that consistent throughout, like the top teams. That was the problem. I think Van Bissaka also, as you mentioned, I think he was phenomenal. He still holds like the most number of tackles won in the
Hmm.
season. But I guess in the end, you saw him getting tired out, getting burnt out, and he didn't have the best of his game. So probably it's a learning, and I hope that one. And I think the most impacted player is Mason Greenwood. I think that guy was phenomenal. That guy was phenomenal.
Hmm.
I think he's a signing. He was a proper signing post
Uh-huh.
Lockdown. He looked like that guy who, was like 100 million striker, comes in, scores 17, 18 goals just for fun, and, was terrorizing defenders. What do you think about Mason Greenwood?
Oh yeah. So fantastic find. There's no doubt. I think I love his flash finishes. It's within a split of a second, the ball is in the back of the net, right? And his left foot is something. The moment he takes a shot, you're almost guaranteed that it's going to end up at the back of the net. I think he's beaten the keeper more often than not on their right side, on the
Yeah,
right side of the keeper.
yeah, and
So, and their
especially in that
keeper
corner,
has,
just in that post corner.
right. And even if it goes right below his hand, so he has no time to react because they're so fast and
Yeah,
furious, the shots. So great find, no doubt. He still has to work on his off the ball work, I think, which is probably
yeah,
not the
he's
best yet.
lazy.
Yeah, and I think it will come. He's 17, right? So let's give him some. Let's not give him
Yeah,
some slack and give him due credit. He'll improve for sure. I think also a little bit of pace maybe will do him a world of good. But I think, yeah, like I said, he's young, but he's a great find, no doubt. So I think credit to Ole from bringing him to the first team.
absolutely. I think Ole deserves that credit and a lot more, to be honest. But now, since we've already mentioned or named players who affected, who do you think is going out of the club and who do you think is coming in? Sancho?
Yeah, so let's go to going out first. So going out, there are quite a few I think we should definitely leave. I think we should really ease our wage bill. I think United players, even the fringe players, get paid a lot more than most other Premier League players. So I think the
Yeah.
first guy should be out would be Lingard, Pereira. Uh, Smalling, unfortunately, it seems that he will be out. Phil
Yeah.
Jones will be out for sure. Uh, Diego Dalot, I don't know what he. I mean, he's good when he's played. I don't think he was bad, but I don't know what's going on there. He's just
I
never
don't know if
been
he's
there.
going to stay. I don't think he's going to be that patient this season. He's not getting starts anyways.
He's also a good cover, but I mean, for a guy that we paid so much, I think he ought to be used more. I don't know what's the problem. He's just not. He's not even injured now. He's just not in the squad for some
Yeah.
reason. So not sure what's happening with that, but I think these 3 or 4 guys will definitely be out. So for the ins, Sancho's obviously the name most that's been ringing around a lot. I'm not fully sure. Now, I do agree he's a great player, so let me not dispute that. But I mean, for somebody coming at 110, 120 million with that kind of
Yeah.
expectation, see, the problem is I think most of these young English guys get a lot of media coverage and press, and they just go on, they just become superstars before they become superstars. This is probably a season or two which is played well. I'm not sure 120 million with that kind of expectations. We've already
Justified.
had a bad history of overpaying for people in terms of wages, like we saw with Sanchez or
Yeah.
Falcao. So I don't know if this is the right move. Probably there are smarter buys available now. This is obviously up to Ole and Ed Woodward and to figure out what's what. There are a couple of names which I think would be probably better, much more established names. So somebody like Isco, I don't think he's fully settled at Madrid, not a guaranteed starter. Why not get him? He's a great player, very sleek in his moves, very agile, and fantastic guy to score goals and make assists. I probably think that I would definitely prefer him. He's 25 or 26, if I'm not wrong. Has a
I
good
think it's
6 years.
27. Yeah, I think 27.
Right.
Yeah.
So still 4 or 5 years of good active
Yeah.
football in front of him. Maybe even a Philip Coutinho. I mean, of course, maybe not all United fans want him, but let's not forget. See, he's had a great career in the Premier League. He's obviously gone off board in Barcelona, lost his way at Bayern Munich. You might get him at a very good price. You might get him at less than half of what we paid for Sancho, right? 100 mil is a very big number, guys. So I think no matter what you are, 100 mil is reserved for Ronaldo kind of a player. It's not for Sancho, in my opinion. And of course, people will take advantage of these times and United's muscle because we
Yeah.
also come in with a lot of bags of money, right? Everybody knows that. Unfortunately, we're not being great negotiators. At least the last 4 or 5 seasons have shown that. And I think we rather be smart. I mean, let's not go for brand names or big names like that. And away from the hype, maybe stick to some of these guys. Even somebody like a Sarr, Ismaili Sarr, plays for
Huh.
Watford. You might remember him because he scored 2 goals at the
Liverpool.
3-0,
Yeah.
yeah, 3-0 defeat. I mean, seems to be very agile. He played the game of his life, I thought, that one. You might
He
get him.
really
The club,
reminds me of Mane. He really reminds me of Mane, and we missed Mane when he was available
yeah,
when he was at Southampton, and now
correct.
we know
And
where he is.
with Watford relegated, you might get him at what, less than 20-25 mil, which is in today's times is a decent buy. So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a guy like that. I prefer not to overspend or go berserk. And I mean, if Sancho comes in a reasonable price, then fine. But 100 mil is just abnormally high, according to me
Yeah,
at
and
least.
also I don't think he had a fantastic season with Dortmund. He probably had a very good first half, but I think second half he petered down. I mean, obviously, I think that's why he's still not confirmed. I think they still want about 100 mil, and I don't think United are in to pay that much. And the unfortunate part is, I think Grealish as well, and 20 million just because he scored that last goal and saved
Yeah.
Aston Villa. There's 20 million more for Grealish, so that's going to be another pain. And I hope you're not sucked into that and go for like a 50, 60 million for Grealish. I mean, that would just be absurd in that sense. But I mean, yeah, I think they're interesting players. I think you mentioned a couple of interesting players. I think Sarr is a fantastic player. I think that we could still get, something because Igalo has actually been fantastic for us. I don't think he was a bad option at all. So I think there
Oh,
are
I
good
agree.
buys, good smart buys available. So absolutely. But now, like talking about this, and now see, Ole's got the third spot. He's got Champions League. Let's not forget he's going to probably go for the Europa League, and we might have a trophy as well. So, what next? Where do we go from now? What is this realistic target next season?
Yeah, I think you'll have to take a 2 or 3 season, targets. It's not just for next season. Look, it's a team building exercise also for Ole. So, yeah, nothing's going to happen overnight, or even for the next season. Obviously, we would want to improve, try to challenge and get close to the city at least, so if not Liverpool. So if the way things are, even if we come third again next season, that would be acceptable for the quality of players we have. But of course, that's not what United is all about, right? So you want to challenge, which is looks a little difficult right now, in my opinion, with the quality that Liverpool have and even City have. City for sure are going to spend. I don't have any doubts about that. With David Silva and the likes leaving, also it's an aging squad, so I'm sure they have the Middle East money right with them, so they are going to blow it up for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Ole has to definitely strengthen. We need three players for sure, is my opinion. I think one centre back for sure. I think we cannot have Lindelof as a starter. Somebody has to partner Maguire.
Maguire.
Maguire has the aerial strength. He is strong, but he does not have the pace. So maybe probably a left-footed defender, somebody like a Nathan Ake, for example. Yeah, he also
Yeah,
might come in cheap, but he could be a good buy. And also remember, Smalling and Jones are on the way out. So you have only Bai, who's also very injury prone.
injury
Of course,
prone.
you have a
Yeah,
couple of youngsters, but I think you need somebody at centre back who is a
agree.
for sure. And second would be a attacking midfielder, like we just discussed, in the Sancho position, because I think Mata is also the best days are behind him, so he's probably on the way out as well.
Way
Lingard is
out because
surely
he's not
should be
been
on the way out.
playing. Yeah,
Yeah,
and he's played Lingard over Mata, so I think that's a message also sent across.
correct. And I'm not a fan of Lingard at all. I would rather play Mata, but I mean Lingard's been given way too many chances. I think now he's probably his time is up. So is Andres
Yeah,
Pereira. I think they don't really add great value. They've been good here and there, a couple of kicks or a couple of games for a few minutes, but really not United quality. So maybe look for one of these guys. Look for the smart buys rather than smart buys, and maybe we could have one left-footed winger. I think that's also something we do not have in the attacking fray. Luke Shaw is
uh,
the only guy I think who's left-footed, genuinely left-footed, who can play. Of course, Williams is obviously an out-and-out defender. He doesn't have the attacking quality as such. He's a
exactly.
good
Yeah,
wing back though. So maybe I mean there was Ivan Persic was a name which was linked along last season. I think.
yeah. I think when
Uh, do,
Mourinho was there, I think when Mourinho was just after the
correct.
World Cup, I guess. Yeah,
But of course, he's 32 now. I don't know. I think probably he's not had a great season anyway. Maybe we'll have to look for an alternative. So maybe a left-footed guy, maybe in the attacking front, should be someone that we look to. I'm not fully sure what kind of options do we have from the youngsters. But I'm see Angel Gomez is out almost is what we know. Maybe promote a couple of youngsters. We do obviously know Greenwood's here, who's also left-footed technically, but he's an out-and-out attacker.
mm.
But we need some backup. We need because there are a lot of matches, multiple competitions.
Yeah.
So let's see. I mean, I'm not fully sure.
No, I mean, I think we got found out in the last 4 or 5 games towards the end of the season because they just allowed the fullbacks to go and do whatever you want, and I don't
Hmm.
think we were even productive. I think even we saw in the Leicester game that they were just narrow in the center and just asking Bissaka or Williams, you take the ball and do whatever you want. And I think that's where we are lacking, and we do need reinforcements there. All these guys have to step up their game on the attacking front because once they become narrow, Bruno and Pogba become redundant and they have to go for those balls. And
Yeah,
I think about what 80%, I think there was 76% misplaced passes of Bruno in that game against Leicester. Of course, it
yeah. I
mattered
think
that he crossed that one pass to Maria.
correct. I think he was just spent. He was too tired. He was done. He was not substituted in the last two games. So I think the load got to him. He was still all right, but I think yeah, I was very surprised that Ole played him the entire game at West Ham. He was just not present,
Yeah,
unfortunately. I
I,
don't know why he was allowed to continue,
I
but
don't think he trusts the bench. I don't think he trusts anybody on the bench. Like once Bruno comes off, he knows that there's nothing else. I mean, nobody's going to offer anything else. So he's just scared that,
correct.
obviously, at that point, we were not secure of top four as well. But like that's behind us, and I think Europa League is still there. So there's still more to cheer probably for Ole, and I think there's enough. I hope there's enough planning going in already, and we see a good season out. It should be a fight more than anything else. I mean, 66 points is the benchmark now. We should be aiming at 80, 85 next season, and probably at least try and give some kind of a fight to the top two.
Yeah,
I yeah, realistically, I don't see us like surging for the title, but like yeah, let's hope that there's a fight.
right.
But
I agree.
it's been a good talk, Rushil. Solid talk. It's fun, and I think we're probably going to be continuing this because we had a good final season game where we were in the top three. So now we can do these fan videos after each game. Otherwise, I think me and Arjun are going to be sulking all through, and we're just going to like cancel this channel. We're like, done, bro, can't do this anymore. So look forward
Yeah,
to it. I hope to see you more on the screen. Thank you, Rushil. Guys, please follow, subscribe, like, and do share your comments as well about the season. And do follow the videos coming up with different fans. And if you do want to be up on the video with us, do send us a message. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Rushil. See you.
Thank you, Nishant.